What's going on, guys? So the good peoples over at HuCast.com have sent us over one of their games to take a look at. And if you don't know who HuCast are, they're a group or a company or whatever you want to call them of really cool people that make new games for the Dreamcast. So this is obviously a Dreamcast game. If you're wondering why it has no Dreamcast logos or anything on there, that's just mainly to do with copyright. But it is actually a Dreamcast game. They sent us out the sort of limited collector's edition, I guess. It comes with some bonus stuff in here, and we'll take a look at that in a second. Now, I'm pretty interested in production of like media and stuff. I think it's really fascinating how it's done, pressing discs and all that. And these are pressed discs. Well, they appear to be pressed discs. They could be the other type, which they look like pressed discs, but they're actually written with a special recorder, like a CDR, but they're not. They're silver. They're not green or blue or whatever. But yeah, it's still pretty neat. This is the case it came in. There we go, limited edition right to there, and HuCast, and then the end cards in Japanese. They sent me out the Japanese version of the game. It's still in English. It's just the box art and stuff they gave me was the Japanese variant. So they made their own region variants as well, which is pretty interesting. On the back here, this is probably the only thing I don't like about this case, is the back of it. It's very flat, like from a design standpoint. It's very hard to sort of distinguish between the different pictures and stuff on the back here. There's no real border around these guys here, and the text just blends in with this really complicated background. It does look cool, don't get me wrong, but it would have been nice if this portion here had maybe like a desaturated background to it there, make it this much easier to read, or something to do here, just to make it a bit easier to look at. It's a bit different to say, like if I picked up a retail game now, I'd probably be able to show you actually. So just comparing it to something like a retail game now, Xbox One games, PS4 games aren't the best example because they're all following along this stupid minimalist, everything looks the same design rule, but just as a rough example, see how all the text and stuff is easy to read. There's only a little bit of information on the back here. There could be more. Most modern games now rely on internet hype and everything to sort of get the info out to everyone. But yeah, this sort of design makes it much easier to read, like especially if it was in the shop. This isn't really sold in stores, it's sold online, but still it would make it more authentic feeling to me, but it's not a huge thing, it's just a little thing I noticed. So on the back here, I have no freaking idea what this says. It probably just tells the story. The story is in English in the little booklet in here, I think, as well. And these are the controllers it supports. This supports up to 1 to 2 players. Now, I should have said this first, but what this game is it's a top-down shoot 'em up. You can either play it in Tate or that other one, so either vertical or horizontal shooter, depending on how you set it up. It plays a lot. It's like an original arcade game. So if you're playing this in a cabinet and you're playing it on like a cocktail cabinet, then it would be horizontal, I guess. Or I'm not too sure actually, but anyway, it makes it different the way the game plays. So yeah, on the back here, they've got the pictures of it. It's a lot of fun actually. I've been playing it for a little bit. And this version here is limited to 1,000 copies. Unauthorized copying strictly prohibited. Compatible with Dreamcast. So yeah, it does say Dreamcast on there, but it's very small, just to avoid any sort of copyright dramas. And yeah, they do say Dreamcast is a registered trademark of Sega Corporation. Now, it supports the original gamepad, the VMU, so for save games, arcade stick, and VGA output, which is really handy because my Dreamcast only outputs VGA. And made in Germany. HuCast, I believe, are a German company, so that's pretty neat. So, opening up this special edition, you get 2 discs. Now, the way this was packed, the Dreamcast copy was actually under here, hidden away from the customs people, or maybe it was just put in there by accident, I don't know. But it comes with a booklet and 2 discs. This is the audio CD, and yes, it does play on the Dreamcast, so you can listen to it on the Dreamcast, be all authentic and whatnot. And then here's the game, again, HuCast shooting game, very nice, and it is a press disc, and it even has HuCast. You probably can't see this, but it even has HuCast written there on the inner rim, so it's pretty nice. I don't know, probably boring for most people, but I think that's kind of interesting that they went to that trouble. And then we have the music track here. Again, I think my Dreamcast is a bit broken. Okay, so just taking a quick look at the booklet now. Let me just zoom out a bit. It's printed nicely as well. It's all full color and everything. It's really nice. Again, the design could have been a little bit more, I don't know how you could say, like, it's just a bit hard to read just because there's no distinction between the background and the text on most pages, but if you sit there for a minute, you can actually understand what it says. So here we have the content, ships, controls, and story. I think this is sort of laid out kind of like how a Japanese magazine would be laid out, and how it's like backwards. So the story's at the start, like normally with a game manual or something like this, it would have the story at the start to tell you what's going on, but it's kind of backwards. It's a bit strange, but... So here's all the ships. Let's just zoom in here. Okay, so here's the ships. There's the GhostBlade ship, that other one, and the other one. I'm not an expert on shoot 'em ups, so I apologize if I'm a bit weird about this, but here's the controls. It's super duper simple, so you just use the control stick or the D-pad to move around. Shoot is A, focus shot is X, that's where it turns a wide beam into a narrow beam if you're using like lasers and stuff, and then bomb is Y. And then here's a story. You can pause on this if you like. And then going down here, I'm assuming it's the same thing in Japanese. And it has this really fantastic artwork. I love the artwork for this game, it's so cool. I might see if I can get this printed big as a poster or something. It's really cool, like they're floating in space, and it's like traditional Japanese looking, but cyberpunk at the same time. It's awesome. And they've got this little scene on the back here, looks like something out of Star Wars, and then HuCast. So yeah, let's take a quick squiz at the game itself. I won't play through it or anything. You can sort of play through the whole game in probably like an hour or two. It's not a super long game, but it's pretty challenging at times. So yeah, let's take a look. Okie dokie, so here we are in the game. We're at the main menu. Now, it says when you turn on the game that Play Asia and a few other people had a hand in it as well, so props to them. Now, here's the high scores, and as you can see, I'm right down the bottom. I managed to get to stage 4 in the game. Another thing is the VMU. If you are familiar with the Dreamcast, the VMU has a little screen in it, and they've even gone to the trouble of creating a custom VMU image on there, which is pretty neat. So let's just take a quick look down here into the options, and here's the orientation. So Yoko is for like normal TVs, and then Tate is the sideways one. Oops, so I'll turn that the right way around again. And here we can change the options and things. HUD, you can go shifted or normal. I don't know what the difference is. Customize controls, and then go credits if you like. And then you can either choose single player or 2-player game training mode, which just helps you sort of get your grips on the game, and then the ranking, which we saw before. So let's just go here to start game. And we need to pick a player. So I'll pick the green one. And I'll go novice because I'm not very good at this game. Okie dokie. It even says now loading on the VMU. That's so neat. Okay, so this is stage 1, so shoot is A. And little stars, I believe, give you points. Now, this game does have a little bit of slowdown on my system. I do have a version 1, or the 99 model, Dreamcast VA0 or something, whatever it's called. Now, yeah, it has a bit of slowdown. You probably notice it in scenes here. Probably looks worse in the recording because it's not recording at 60 FPS. But yeah, so the big screen of fire was the bomb, I believe. So okay, so I'm just checking if it's not crashing because this Ava Media software sucks. Now, if we go here, shoot some dudes. What else was I gonna say? I forgot now. But anyway, the game does have a bit of slowdown. That could be because of my system. As I said, it's a version 1 or whatever it is. That's if you can hear a sort of noise in the background, that is the fan in it, because the first version of the Dreamcast had a metal fan and it's quite noisy. Like, it's actually made out of metal. It's kind of cool, the whole thing. Yeah. So you just shoot the dudes, you know, that sort of deal. Top down, shoot them up. Now it gets quite hairy scary in places. Oh shit, I just died. Yeah, it does get a bit challenging in places, but you sort of get used to it. Plus it's a bit harder because I'm talking and not really watching what I'm doing. And it likes to set off the bombs by itself, which kind of gets annoying sometimes, but yeah. Ooh, warning. This means it's a boss battle or something. Yeah, this guy isn't too hard to beat, as long as you don't run into his purple fury sticks. Now, you just have to kill his arms, and then you can kill the middle of him. Oh, shit. Continue, yes. Normally, I'm not this bad at this game. It's just because I'm reviewing it now, I instantly lose my abilities to play. So yeah, it's a really nice game. It's really neat to see that people are actually still making games for these systems. It sort of brings new life into them. As I said before, the actual physical design of the packaging and stuff could be a little bit better, but I can't really blame them, or I can't really diss them that much. It's probably a really hard thing to do, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, as you can see here, there is a bit of slowdown every now and again, especially when that happens, when I press the bomb button. Yeah, there's not a whole lot else I can really say about this game. Like, it plays like a top-down shooter. It's fine. Like, there's no bugs. I haven't actually encountered a single bug in this game yet, which is freaking cool, because if you play like any sort of modern game, you're guaranteed to get bugs in the first 10 minutes, which is kind of sad because these people weren't paid billions of dollars by some big publisher to make the game, you know, like Ubisoft or someone, you know, like Ubisoft was making the game, they would throw squillions of dollars at it and it still would have been buggy as hell, but nah, you can't do much about that. So yeah, hopefully the audio is better in this video as well. The last video I made, I was using the internal mic on my camera. I got a new camera, and it's a 4K camera. I won't be uploading 4K yet until I get better internet. But yeah, that's not really part of this review now, is it? The music in the game is also really cool. It's pretty groovy. I didn't like it at first when I first received the game in the mail. I popped the CD into the Dreamcast to listen to it. So, yeah, it was alright, but the more I listen to it, the more it grows on me. So hopefully we should be getting up to a boss battle fairly soon. Yeah, there's a bit more slowdown there. Not a huge problem. That might just be the console itself not keeping up, like this specific model this certain model. I'll say that. Can't pronounce words. These guys are kind of annoying because you see them coming up, but you can't kill them until they turn around. Now I'm no expert at shoot 'em ups, so I don't know if I'm playing this horrendously, if like there's some sort of known formula of how to play these games, like, oh, do this, do that. Alright, now this sometimes happens while I'm playing it. It might be just the controller being weird, but this is a brand new controller for the Dreamcast. Every now and again it like just swings right to the left, like the plane does that. The spaceship goes all the way to the left like that and gets stuck until I let go of the controller and move again. That could be a bug in the game, but it could also just be just this controller. Yeah, so I hope you liked this review. It's not super long. There isn't a whole lot I can actually say about this game. Like, it's not super in depth. There isn't a whole lot of story to it, but it is a fun game just to kill some time with. And if you're serious about your Dreamcast collecting, then I would say you should definitely get it. You can pick it up for about, I think it's about €30 or something, and you can pick that up from HuCast.com. I'll put a link in the description. They have a few other games for the Dreamcast as well. They're not all just top-down shooters like this one, so I suggest you take a look at those as well. And in the meantime, watch me get killed by this dude. Alrighty then, so if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. Check out HuCast, they're a cool bunch of people. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I think I said that, didn't I? I don't know. But anyway, until my next video, see ya!